Yo, yo, yo. Like we used to say what? Welcome to the what? Out of the birth.
Yeah. See, and that's what's weird now,
It's
man.
been that long. You ever say it's been that long? Can't even remember what to say.
Oh, yeah, the Out of the Berg plot. Well, we're not the Out of the
Scratch
Berg.
that.
I said, yeah, we're not the Out of the Berg podcast anymore. We decided to scratch that and evolve. We're now young adults reaching almost in our 30s. Well, we're not gonna speak on Shamar. He's still 22 in his head. He's
I'm the youngest one here, ain't it?
Yeah, he still wants to, he likes Drake and he wants to be young and all that.
All right, old man.
But yeah, get the old jokes. Yeah, but we decided to do a new show, different. It's not going to be a typical weekly subjects and how will you. No more Bozo of the Week, sadly. That's not going to be part of the show. No more. Well, we could do this or that. Sorry, Simone. Well, we might do this or that. So we might do some other segments, but this is more of a conversational podcast now. More guests, more conversations, more productive conversations as we are getting older and evolving. And like I said, we're not going to be week to week anymore. We all got schedules.
Yeah, and we got to work with them schedules with what we got.
Yeah, so as you see, one person won't be here. Isn't here right now, and the next content that you have with our guy Just 10 stream his album Cancer Man is another 3. So us 4 being on here is not it's gonna happen. It will happen, but we're scheduling. We're trying to work around our schedules and give you content. So it is not. You're not gonna see us every week. You may see us every month, every 2 months, but we will be a different show and a different podcast, and we hope you enjoy this new direction that we're going for. So, Chris, anything? Shamar, anything?
No, nothing really. It's just, we appreciate all of you guys who've stayed here with us so far and who still, sticking on to this ride with us. And like Peter saying, we're not going to be every week anymore. Maybe we're once a month, maybe we're twice a month, maybe every once in a while you might get 4 times a month. I don't know. I don't know exactly how we're gonna go moving forward. We don't have anything set in stone right now. It could change in the future. We don't know anything as of right now. We're just gonna work with what we got, and we appreciate all those who stick with us through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is the kickback now. And we are chilling back and relaxing. You know what I'm saying? That's the direction. And yeah, that was who came up with the name? Chris?
Yeah, that was me.
It was Chris. It was either Chris.
Of course, the master creator himself.
Naturally.
But yeah, we have a guest that'll be coming on. Well, he will be on right after you hear this intro. But we hope you enjoy the direction that we go, and we just want you guys, give us more insight of what you want to see, what you want to hear, what topics you want to hear, because we really want to have conversations now. It's not me and Shamar. Well, we will. Me and Shamar, we will argue. That's just that's gonna just happen naturally.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a completely like it's a new show, but it's not like we not doing any of the old stuff we did.
Yeah, I still think
not taking away everything.
Yeah, I still think some people are going to be delusional and say Trae Young the King of New York. I think that's still going to be a thing. But hey, not everyone's like me that knows the truth. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. You can't.
Look, you see how first podcast back, he always trying to. You see it, Chris. First podcast back, he always trying to throw the shade. Like you see before, I was like, hey, we're not first. Hey, let's not start. But here he is. Keep talking and talking and talking. I'm gonna let it slide today.
Let it slide today. Certified lover boy. Huh? let it slide today.
Look, Chris, he's testing.
Hey,
he's just trying to put all the buttons, but he's missing everything
now. Like, aren't you happy your man's now? He's doing a dance album, massive.
You see this guy, Chris. He thinks he's pushing buttons, but he ain't pushing no button.
Okay, I'm not.
He's trying his hardest. He's trying his hardest.
Yeah, but yeah, some things won't change. Like this banter, it might just keep going. But we want you to enjoy the show and enjoy the episode you will see coming next. Please follow, support, let us know. Our handle is at official Kickback Podcast on Instagram. We're working on everything else. So we'll have everything else updated, our Twitter handle and everything. We'll tell you that as we go. Now enjoy the content.
Bye. Or I guess hi.
First, give them the sauce real quick.
Told them that we at the kickback. Talk about this at the kickback. Talk about that at the kickback. Talk about rap at the kickback. Talk R&B at the kickback. You might find me at the kickback. Talk about sports at the kickback. Long stories are short at the kickback. Got guests of all sorts at the kickback. We at the kickback. We at the kickback. We at the kickback. We in the kickback. We in the kickback. We in the kickback. Yeah, we in the kickback.
All right, welcome to the Kickback Podcast. This is gonna be our official first episode since the rebrand, and we got a guest, man. He's one of the DMV's finest, one of the best rappers to me in the DMV. We interviewed him 2 years ago. When God Happens Rap, it was me and him. We had a dope conversation, hip hop conversation. Give it up for our guy, Just 10.
Sir, what's up, y'all? What's going on?
What's up, man? Glad to have you on today.
Thanks, y'all, for having me.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, just to kick it off, man. Like, how you been since God Happened? You know, because I know you put out Cancer Man a couple months ago, and you put Cancer Man, the original 20 tracks. What have you been going through since then, and how was that process?
And so, obviously, like God Happened and Cancer Man, they're like real different projects. You got one that's really talk about my faith for real. And then this one's like more, I think it's my most personal project for real. Just what I was talking about was like more personal. It's more like life experiences and stuff like that. So just from God Happened, really, I dived right into Cancer Man, really. I took like a 2-week break and got right in the studio. And then we worked on this. So, yeah.
Dang, so you just took like a smooth little spring break right quick, and then you just started working again. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just how I operate sometimes. Sometimes, inspiration, I can't let inspiration go. It's like lightning in a bottle for real. So if I feel inspired, I gotta create. But sometimes it take months, sometimes it take weeks. But yeah, that's just how it was.
Yeah, just from listening from God Happened, because when we talk about God Happened, you were more or less, it was right when we were deep in the pandemic and everybody was like going through it.
Yeah.
And from here to like Cancer Man, I just see more like you grown and like you have more confidence, and you're talking about like you just being you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I got from it compared to God Happened and Self-Care, where you were more of like looking for something more or less. With this project, it's like you found what you are and what you're trying to express.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way. I didn't really look at it like that, but that's a good way of putting it. Like the pandemic was more so I feel like everybody was going through something. So with Cancer Man, I kind of like through the pandemic, I learned more about myself, and then that's how the Cancer Man came about. It was like, all right, this is who I am. So that's a good way of looking at it for real.
What were your like inspirations for this specific album, if any?
Man, so we kicked it off. Man, I had a couple projects I was just studying for real. But what kicked it off was I really dove, like I heard Victory Lap, of course, by Nipsey Hussle. But I really dove deep into it, and then I just started studying it. And then I started studying Ready to Die by Biggie. A big fan of the Detroit 2 by Big Sean, which is why one of the reasons why my project is so long, because Detroit 2 was so long. I really like how he did that. Off season, I got inspired by Off Season 2. Cole was just spitting, And then the Dark Horse project to me that I really studied a lot was the project by Vince. It was called Vince Staples, but it's about Vince Staples that dropped last year. It came, I think, last summer. So I was really inspired by those projects.
Those some dope.
Yeah, I like that. And then just kind of like going through your catalog, because like Avery, like I was ready for the interview last time, but then something came up, so I sent all my stuff to Peter. But I've noticed, like, just through your catalog, like you have a balance, so to say. Like you'll touch on your personal life and your experiences, but then you also touch like your spiritual side too. So what do you really draw from more? Is it more like, or is it just kind of like in the moment type feeling for you? How do you really, I guess, move around that?
It depends though. Like, it's kind of like I was saying about the inspiration. Like, even now, what I'm working on, I'm inspired in 3 different ways now. So it's just kind of weird. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. I don't go in the studio with like a game plan. I go in the studio, and I just write. And then I don't even know what I'm talking about until like the project is done. I didn't know what the Cancer Man was about until I was done, until the track list was done. Same thing with God Happened. I didn't know what I was telling myself until that last song was written and the track list, everything came out. So it's kind of just, I guess, me just writing out things that I'm not really saying. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fun though. Like, even when I'm working on now, I'm like, what the hell am I telling myself? And probably like 4 or 5 months from now, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I was saying. That's what this project is.
Okay, so you literally like expressing yourself through the music, and then you're only translating it back as you're listening to it. That's tough. I like that.
Yeah, I really don't know what's going on. I don't go into a project saying it's this project. I got to talk about this. I literally just talk about what's on my mind. And sometimes it could be my spirit. Like, most times, all the time, my spirituality is on my mind. But most times it's always just like things that I'm going through or things that I've been through that I just haven't spoken on yet. So, and that's the fun part in creating projects to me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to transition real quick. Unless you still had to go ahead.
No. If you got some, go ahead, bro.
That's not go.
Yeah, I was just curious to say, there was a lot of different. I can really see the technique coming through it, especially when you start with the parameter and you start with the flow and everything else. And you're pulling in all these different inspirations until you found something that was really like unique to yourself. One of the things I did notice specifically with Cancer Man is you mastered breath, basically, particularly when it comes to music, when you're playing, an instrument or whatever, particularly a wind instrument, is taking the breath breaks when you need to and keeping music going. And I didn't catch that when I was listening to the music per se. So I was like, oh, okay, it's really hidden in there every time you take a deep breath before you start spewing more of just like, your rhetoric, your and your poise, which was really cool to see. So just well done on that. I was really excited to hear that because I was like, what? Hold on.
That. Just like, I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that because I take pride in that for real. Take a lot of pride.
Just like in general, like typically like a lot of people will just like breathe from their tummy, like from their abdomen, and they push it out. It's a little
and you
bit
can hear it too when they do that.
Faster. Yeah, because it makes it a little bit more louder, but it's very short and it's very you can only do it for a short burst. But it was just really cool because I was listening to this and I'm like, oh, okay, so he has the stomach and he has the the voice box. It's like I'm seeing all these components and you're able to capitalize on it, which is really cool. So yeah, just well done on it.
I appreciate that, man. My engineer would tell you, bro, everything really just be one take for real. So, but it took years to get there. Like I'm here year 9 creating, but he'll tell you like for the Cancer Man, it was all just, it was ready.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Again, that is just impressive though. Cause like, it's so like coherent, like all your stuff it's not, it doesn't sound like you're just like expressing like what's on your mind. It sounds like you got like everything just like laid out already. Cause it all flows together so well. Like, I guess, I take that back. In a sense, you can tell, but it's like, I don't know how to describe, because it just all works together so well. It doesn't feel like you're necessarily just like, okay, this is what I'm feeling, I'm putting it out. It feels like you just structured it like that. But that's just off your mind like that. And that is a skill right there. You could make a master class on that.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. But like, I appreciate that. But like, so what I can say is like all of my projects are really like 90% just thought before I even go and write.
Right.
Like, so, and then when I go write, it's like I've already thought about everything. So the dirty work is done, and I just go in the studio and it's done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's why like even with the Cancer Man, I would have references done. So we had like over 100 reference tracks that I did, but I went to the studio. I probably knocked out about 60 of them. Because once I was like, yeah, these is gonna be good. We knocked out 60 from about May 2021, and the last song we recorded like February this year. And then, but those is all like they was ready. Like so, I go in the studio prepared, but as far as like the writing process and like what I'm about to talk about, yeah, that's just it's already thought about. It's premeditated as far as how I'm about to approach this.
Yeah, and that's what I mean though, because like as I was listening to as you were saying that earlier, I'm thinking like of course like you're gonna write it down, but like just thinking of like for myself personally, like if I were to write something down and then like let's say I'm doing like a presentation and then like I read it off like I'm gonna change that like 20 times, and then even if I'm gonna say it out loud or like I'm gonna change this even more, I'm probably changing it up to like the day of. So just the fact that you can like you can like put everything you're saying like on a record and actually like put it out there, and it's like all that is great to me. So that is I really feel like you could like put a class on that or something, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. I got to take you up on your offer, bro. Like I could go to Frostburg, teach some classes.
Hey, do it, man. They need it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, speaking of that, like it's gonna lead me to my next question. Like you said that like you premeditate these thoughts and have them out. So like, you know, in hip hop, like guys like Jay, Wayne, and Biggie, like they're known to like not write down their raps and start them joints in one take. Is it that same thing that you do, or is it more like you have to write it down? Like it just can't be styles.
Like I gotta write, and I'm not sure if it's because, like, don't get me wrong, I can freestyle, but it's not gonna be no substance. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be me rhyming. But for me, I gotta write because that's my favorite artists I grew up on. They all like they're not just great rappers, they're great songwriters. You know what I mean? So that's just what influences me. But when you get back to Hov and Wayne and Biggie, those are also big influences on my like rap career. But my biggest influences, they all known for like just being great writers. But I think it still relates in a sense to like premeditated because the thoughts you thinking, you coming up with it, but it's like they're just real skilled at like getting it out verbatim right there instead of they probably skip that whole thinking process. I put a lot of thought behind my like singles, projects, even my features. I put a lot of thought behind.
Speaking of your features, who was like your go-to guy, like going back and forth with? Like, it's a guy that you be like, okay, when I get him on the track, I gotta bring my best 16. Like, he go. Who do you think has tested you in that way?
Man. So of course, there's a couple guys I can think about. Trying to think who was on the project. Well, if we talking about just the Cancer Man, like I knew when I reached out to Jordan Ali, Tom. I mean, everybody I reached out to. I knew when I reached out to these guys because I'm not reaching out to you just to make a song. I'm reaching out to you because I know you're gonna make the song better. So, in a sense, it's like Hold Up was done when I sent it to Ethos. Strong was a whole completely different song before I sent it to Jordan Ali. So I knew it's like, man, these niggas about to rip my shit. But it's like that's what I kind of want them to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, when I send these songs out, I think about that with everybody really because I'm not reaching out to nobody that I don't feel can meet me there. You know what I mean? Lyrically or flow wise. So always like my A game. And like guys that didn't even make the project, like Jinjo, you know what I mean? I know he's gonna bring bars all the time, but that's kind of why I'm reaching out in a sense because I want that on the track.
So stylistically, you always want something that like really just makes sense. Because when I hear your music, everything I feel like it's like it gotta make sense. You know, and that's why I feel like I mentioned the Wayne and the Hovs and the what's his name? It's big. But like your more of approach is more like J. Cole, Kendrick, where you want to give a project that's like, it makes sense. I'm not just gonna do a song just because it's like the hottest thing or it's trendy. It has to be me.
Yeah.
Feel like that comes from? Like, is that something you wanted to always do each and every project, or is that something you have to develop?
Man, I think it's two things because I got a little bit of OCD, so everything gotta be organized. Like I think I hit you right before the podcast started.
Yep.
I was like, man, I'm setting up. Like this just gotta be a certain way. It's always a certain way of me doing things, man. Like I can't go to sleep if my hanger's not facing a certain way. So with me, it's partially personality, but then the other part is like I grew up on, you know what I'm saying, my favorite artist growing up was always Kanye West. And then Drake came out, Cole came out. So these guys like kind of sculpted my artistry. And I saw how they put projects together. Like all their stuff made sense to me. It wasn't like all over the place and things like that. Like the first project I can tell you I fell in love with was Friday Night Lights. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it made sense.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Like, as far as we can say this year and last year, what are some of your favorite projects from some of the more mainstream artists that came out?
Man, so this year I just tapped into Joey Badass 2000. I think that joint is fire. And he's also an inspiration for me too. He inspired God Happen. His project All American Badass, one of the inspirations behind that. But just going back to this year, of course, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's like I think that's the best album to drop this year. Pusha T, It's Almost Dry.
That album.
Man, that joint crazy, bro. Like Kanye and Pharrell on there.
Lord have mercy. But
it's hard to mess with that.
Yeah.
What else dropped this year? Vince Staples dropped another project this year. That's like one of my favorite rappers. Even going back to last year, Isaiah Rashad. I love The House is Burning. What else dropped last year? Of course, Off Season. I love Donda. That's one of my favorite Kanye albums for some reason. I really love Donda. Just trying to think about what else dropped. So a lot of music dropped. I just tapped into The Game today. His new project that just dropped.
Yeah.
And
I still got to listen to that.
Yeah, I got through like 5 songs, but it sounded.
I got through a couple. I'll just say this about Game. He is the most entertaining rapper.
For sure.
Like, he has the time to do things that a lot of rappers don't have the time to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to be entertained, listen to The Game.
Yeah, bro. He's saying some wild stuff on there too. So far though. And it's 31 tracks, so like I got ways 31?
to go. I'm sorry, you said 31, right?
Yeah, 31 tracks.
Just trying to get that clear.
31 tracks, bro.
And it's 2 hours long.
Jesus.
Oh wow. What's the longest?
I'll break that up in chunks. A lot of chunks.
What's the longest song on there? Is it like
Blacks? It's called Blacks. That's the one. That's the first one I got to listen to.
Oh, he was dissing. I ain't hear that yet. He was dissing.
Yeah. So I'll tell you about this a little bit. He's basically copying 50 and Eminem's flows throughout the whole song. And he's telling like if you listen to it, you'll be like, this nigga got the time. Like, no rapper thinks it's. But it's entertaining. But like, Game is I always say he's a top 10 lyricist, so he's gonna find ways to reinvent himself, even if it is somewhat clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, is he still on that whole West Coast vibe?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Still, he's still doing that. But I want to ask you this next question. Like, how do you feel about rappers that are like that though? Like the ones that they're good, but they find ways to just like do silly shit for like
clout chasers?
Yeah,
specializing.
I don't really I personally don't like it. Like if that's the type of artist you are, you can make great music, right? But if you're clout chasing and doing all this extra stuff, it kind of pushes me away from your art. So for me, I don't really like that because, again, that's just my personality too. I don't really like doing all the extra stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like the art is good. You shouldn't have to do too much for people to, listen to you. You know what I mean? Like your art is going to draw them to you. That's just how I feel about it. But people got other avenues and other things of, trying to get attention. That's just on them.
In regards to that, like, do you feel the same way about Ye? Because I love Kanye, like the first 6 albums.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was dating, marrying Kim Kardashian. I'm not trying to be like that. Not a typical dude, but it seemed like when he married into that family, something just happened. And he's been tweaking. Like the other week, he's harassing
Yeah,
her
that 28.
ex.
I'm sorry, that's
Yeah, like
funny.
you know what I'm saying? Do you put it because like those first 5 to 6 albums, like unbelievable. And it's just like I'm not saying Donda was trash or Donda 2. I haven't heard Donda 2 or like the others, but it seems like he's just been really just all over the place. So what do you think of an artist like him?
See, with Kanye, he's what I had to learn, because I was the same way with that, like as far as like him being all over the place. Like 2018, people would tell you, because I'm a Kanye fan. I'm not a stan, but I'm like big fan, right? But 2018, he kind of lost me when he started doing all this stuff with the red hat. Yeah. What I had to understand is like, man, Kanye also, he's a genius. And like he's a literal genius. And every genius that I feel like got some sort of celebrity to them, like they don't know how to handle it, in a sense, and kind of like mentally don't know how to handle it. So they always, like for me, I can relate to Kanye in a sense because I'm a creative. My mind is always going. Like I can be doing, like right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, dang, this song, I want to tweak it a little bit. You know what I mean? And then I can jump back to your question and then jump over here. Like if somebody was here, it's just always going. So I had to learn that about Kanye. It's just like, he's just so creative. He just worry about the next thing. He's so innovative. He's not here. Like he's literally not present. He's probably in 2028. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, you're probably right about that.
So it's hard for him to, I'm just speaking like in a hypothetical sense. I'm not really sure if that's what it is, but I feel like it's hard for him to have regular conversations with present day because he's not here. Like he's not present at all. So that's just how I feel about it. Like, and also, I don't know if he really has, I'm not going to speak on it, but I'm not sure if he really has mental illness or what's going on. But that can also be a part of it too. I'm not trying to sit here and stick up for some of his antics. I don't believe in none of that stuff that he does, but I also do understand he's human and he's probably just going through a real experience too. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned the mental health aspect because, you know, that's been something that's really just been more of a mainstream topic now. There are artists that you talk about. Yeah. There are artists that started that like right before, like with self-care. How do you feel about like mental health going forward in hip hop and just in your personal life, because it's an evolving thing?
So I feel like artists are doing a great job now. Like you see Ari Lennox standing up for herself with mental health. I think Doja Cat just recently either deleted her stuff and came back. It might have been her. You see Kanye doing it all the time, deleting his stuff, but I think artists are doing a great job now speaking up because it takes those type of artists, like not me at this level. It takes the mainstream artists to speak up about mental health and being a creative. Like it's really not easy, you know what I mean? Because all we literally want to do is create, but it's also a life. So it's hard to live life if you're just trying to create. So I think it's important that they're doing that. I would say taking a stand in a sense against cancel culture and everything, because that's a scary thing too. As a creative, is seeing cancel culture, and when freedom of speech gets taken away, it's like now we got a sense of what we're saying. So I think Kendrick Lamar did a great job on Mr. Morale speaking on mental health as well. And I kind of, when Kendrick does it, now every artist that looks up to him can do it because he did it. You know what I mean? So I like the direction it's going in. Even outside of like music, but just in general, even in like sports, entertainment, they all speaking up on mental health. And I think it's important when they start doing it. And it kind of like the domino effect.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree with you because I just remember like, I don't remember who I was having this conversation with, but we were listening to I want to say he was like a SoundCloud rapper, and the song wasn't bad neither, but he was just talking about like he was going through some stuff, and whoever I was listening to just was not feeling it. And it wasn't because like the song was bad, it was just like, they're like, he needs to get over himself or something. But then when you get somebody on a bigger platform and it, you know, like that, of course it's going to sound better, but they could be talking about the same stuff because if it's on that bigger platform, people are going to have a better response to it. And it's just, I feel like you're right. Like people in that platform guy just like take that responsibility and be like, hey, you know, yes, I got all this money, this, that, and the third, but I also got depression. Yeah. And that's something hard to say because, you know, like you as a rapper, you're supposed to be, you know, like putting up like this glamorous lifestyle that, you know, like all of us regular people out over here, you know, wishing we had. and now you over here saying like, no, I'm like y'all too. I also get upset. I also had bad days, and it kind of like humanizes them more, and people just kind of go like, whoa, like it gives it puts people like back, takes people out of that fantasy, be like, yo, Kanye is a real person, and all that stuff. So yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure. That's important, man. Like, realizing people are human.
Yeah, I like because the Kendrick album, he opened a lot of layers for those discussions. Cancel culture, because I think we've talked about this, Chris. Cancel culture, how jokes are perceived, and how you don't know what somebody's going through. I just like the fact that Omi was really like pushing back on the other side. Like, if I said something 10 years ago, that was 10 years ago. Like, I've grown in that 10 years. I might not be that same person. And you're gonna cancel.
I don't know. I mean, like, if I'm Camilo Cabello saying I'm a racist, on a tweet back in high school, that's shit. Stuff like that's gonna come out, right? You just don't magically overnight not be a racist anymore. Like, that's a
good example.
I changed. He changed me like, nah, bro, you still a racist at the end. You said that on your, like, we can dig it up and find evidence from it, like. The fact that technology is changing so quickly that I could find a photo that I took 10 years ago, an exact, geologic location and, what camera, and getting all this like raw data of what I was using just from a freaking photo 10 years ago. It just, you gotta be careful what you say, It's just...
And that's the other side too. Be careful of what you say.
I think that's the balance, though. You know what I mean?
Because you go.
I'm just saying, like, that's a balance. Like, it's a balance. There's got to be a healthy balance, because now I don't condone being a racist, right? But if I have an opinion about something, like, I should be able to voice that in a safe space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, if somebody wants to show their ass that way, like being a racist to me, then that's them. You know what I mean? Like, I just know not to support that. You know what I mean? Same way, I would speak up about it, but I just feel like it's got to be a healthy balance of watching what you say, but then also being able to say what you feel too. But then, like, that's also like the difference between good and evil too. So
yeah. No, I know what you saying, like, you should be able to express yourself, but at the same time, you got like realize like eyes are on you still.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really think it depends on the conversation and where we're at. Racism is something that's like, and like a forever thing. And it's like, can we really think, are we really understand, like, you're not racist anymore, really?
Right. That's just.
But compared to like kind of homophobia, where it's like the conversation, I think for homophobia is kind of evolving quicker than like anything I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you could have said that 10 years ago. Now it's like, you saw what happened to the baby. You saw what happened to a couple of these. Now it's like, they not playing. If we say something, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be careful. We got to respect that community. So I just think it's, like you said, context and balancing it. Yeah, I think that's the perfect way.
I don't know. I still feel like there's an area where you shouldn't be just debasing humans just based on their phenotype. Like, that just like with me, because it basically says that you're like, I'm trying to put this in the most PC way I can, because I know we're being recorded, but I'm just saying, like, that shows something wrong with your character, your morals, and your own intrinsic values when you are out here physically harassing and being aggressive about your beliefs, which are, I wouldn't say wrong to some extent, but they're just like shallow, and you get what I'm saying. It's like kind of weird. But it's like, there's reasons for why people think the way they do, but we also see that because your worldview is so limited that you just need more exposure. But that's still not going to change the fact that you may still be X, Y, Z at the end of the day. So,
for sure, I agree with that though. Like, and some people know what they're doing too. Like that tweet she made, like, she knew exactly what she was doing. You know what I mean? So people, at the end of the day, that's just how I feel about it. I think they got bad intentions behind stuff, like certain stuff like that, especially saying you're racist on Twitter. That's what she said, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, she was. The exact tweet was back during high school, and it was something about making fun about black folks, and they're just dropping the N word and all this other stuff. And I'm like, nah, that's racist. Like, even if you jumping on the bandwagon saying that stuff's funny just because everybody else is thinking it's funny, nah, you took it too far. That makes you racist in this context.
That's bad. That's bad intent. So yeah, for sure.
And like, you know, these days it's kind of hard to take anyone seriously with what they're saying because we have, you know, the 6ix9ines, the clout chasers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like to roam on Twitter and just say random things, you know what I'm saying? So also you got to be, you know, cognizant of that. The time we're in. We're in crazy culture these days.
Yeah.
Like some of the challenges, like what was last year? It was a crate challenge.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Was that last year? Early? I guess that was last year. Yeah.
It was last year. It was just like, you're really gonna go on crates and break your face for social media?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least back in our time, we had planking. It wasn't as crazy as that. Like,
yo, crates. People was really breaking their shit, man. Like,
oh, no,
for no reason, it'd be like $100 to break your spine for what, man? Make no sense.
I see sometimes. I was like, well, now you got to go to a chiropractor for another 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
first payment. Just like a credit towards it.
What's the future for what you're doing as far as your rap career, like your label, any artists you're trying to put on?
Yeah, I'm working on like 3 different projects right now. So kind of just creating, finishing up the visual series for the Cancer Man. And yeah, just putting together this festival, kind of like cap it all off. So it's kind of just doing all that. And after that, I'm working with this female artist, trying to get her started with, I guess you could say, young and gifted. Just trying to get her started over here. She's a great artist, a great rapper. If you can, you know what I'm saying, take a listen to her. Her name Rankin. She just dropped her story. No, This Story. It's called This Story. It's an EP, but she just dropped it about a couple months ago. Yeah, I'm definitely working with her more. But yeah, just creating. I'm creating every day. I got songs stacking up, so we'll see where I am next year for real.
Nice.
This will probably be my last question, but like as far as and back in Frostburg, what would you put? Was it something Minds? Something?
Oh, Creative Minds.
Yeah. Creative Minds. Yeah, it should be. As far as that, you're the creator that at your time there. Who are the artists that you were like really cool with at that time? At
that time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still cool with all of them to this day, for real. Yeah. I can just think all the way back to the very first year. I mean, like Delron, all them, Kuzan, you know what I mean? Teo, all them, like we all still connected. We just reconnected again. We just all linked up in June. So it's kind of like family now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we all still locked in.
That's cool.
And since it's evolved, you still keep up with everything that's going on, or you have new artists. You're like, oh dang, wow.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely keep up with it. I feel like I'm always gonna keep up with it, but let's keep up with it. See what they got going on. You know, I've known every president since then. Like the second president after that, we real tight. Nino. I think Hellblazer is I don't know if y'all know Hellblazer. He's an artist, but he's a president now. You know, Jinjo was the president at a point in time. So, you know, we all it's like a fraternity in a sense, I feel like. So, yeah.
And then just real quick before, I guess, because Peter, you said that was your last question, right?
Yeah, that was my last question.
I'm going to wrap mine up with this. How do you feel about, or rather, where do you see Young and Gifted sound going? Like your label here?
Man, you know, I've really been putting it on the back burner because I've been trying to focus on like, it sounds selfish, but myself in a sense.
No, I mean, and that makes sense though, because like you guys still put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And then you gotta try to, you know, like find that balance. And I'm sure like that's like a monster in itself, just trying to work that out.
Yeah, it's a lot of like just legal stuff you got to do, paperwork, but I'm kind of like now I'm like, man, it's time to, because I've always dreamed about just doing my own label and like making it successful and making sure everybody eats on there. So I know like next year I'm really going to tap into just all young and gifted stuff. You know what I mean? And just really get it to where I wanted to be at. Doing more soul shows and doing more, just sessions and things like that, young and gifted related. Kind of like putting young and gifted's name above mine in a sense, because it's time. It feels time. Like I told y'all earlier, it's just a certain inspiration that I feel. And now I'm starting to feel that inspiration to push young and gifted. Like before, things wasn't really working out because I was just trying to force it. But now it's like I feel it. So that's what I'm really looking forward to that though. Like getting a TDE type, Dreamville type thing, or even Pro Era type. You know what I mean? Just something that people really can put faces to the name to.
Yeah, that's what's up. And then, like, are you just like, are you when you say like you're expanding, like, are you expanding, like, are you like scouting people? Are you are you like searching for like more talent, or you just like literally just like the brand in general, like merchandise and stuff like that, or how exactly are you looking at it?
So really both. Really both. Really branding the proper way. And then getting more artists on that, of course, are great artists, but also believe in the vision of young and gifted.
Right.
Because, I mean, I can get anybody to say you want to be a part. If they don't believe in it, it's not really going to do anything. So, yeah, just really scouting out artists that believe in it. I've been in contact with a lot of artists, over the past, 3 years that just, really see the vision. So it's more so preparing myself to take it to that next level. So I really want to do both, really brand it. Have people walk around saying, man, I want to be on Young and Gifted Sound. Like, that's a dream for me. So, yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, Ave, any questions, Ave?
Oh, I had a few, but you guys took all the good ones. I was just sitting there trying to think of something real quick. So you did mention that you are in contact with Creative Minds leaders and just a couple other, I assume, groups on campus and everything. But do you have any plans to go ahead and try to, maybe establish a program with Creative Minds and give them some type of internship-based experience, and this way you can build up some camaraderie with young and gifted, and this you know what I'm saying, sort of like a pipeline built for youth development. Youth development sound old. Good God, I'm sorry.
I'm glad you asked that though, because I'll tell y'all this because I fuck with y'all, right? So really, it's either Young and Gifted Sound or branch out Creative Minds into off-campus type thing. Of course, have it forever at Frostburg, but kind of branch it out. So it's kind of of course, I want to give back to the school and do certain things at the school. We lost somebody this year from Creative Minds, one of our brothers, Michael Ma. So we definitely want to do things in honor of him. But it's funny you asked that because I really want to branch out Creative Minds into something more corporate in the sense, doing things you see AMP is doing. I don't know if y'all know AMP. It's a DMV platform. Only Vibes. It's a DMV platform. They do a lot of things in the DMV. Do a lot of events. They have people come on, do interviews, and they do a lot of live performances and things like that. So I just feel like since we all so tight still with Creative Minds, we all still talk about it to this day, we might as well go ahead and, make a platform for our students that were part of Creative Minds, and then branch it out to our students after graduation, of course, be a part of the platform, but then branch it out, open it up to people that were curious about Creative Minds, but may not have went to Frostburg. And I really, I see the vision for that almost every day. It's it could be crazy, but just got to find that time, feel that inspiration and be inclined to do it.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
It really is, especially that sort of networking at its very core, at the grassroots level, and you're planning on expanding it. That's really cool to see.
I appreciate
it. It was one of those fears, in college, like all of us, we graduate and we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what's next. But then if you actually have a pipeline, something you can at least aim for, that gives you a lot more hope, just moving forward. So no, honestly, I feel like that really is an incredible idea that you got there. That you could put in motion.
Yeah, because I look at people that was part of it and they're still doing their thing. You see Case Cobain, you see, like I said, Nino, Genjo, Bad News, everybody's still creating music. So it's just like, I feel like when, like you said, people leave college, they don't know what they can do. Well, come join our, platform, do this and that, you know what I mean? And keep tapping in your creative side around other creatives. Like, you can't really beat that. So, for sure.
Yeah, that's a dope way to help, especially because it's the DMV. And I feel like the DMV, if it grew, it'd be like, at least we'd be a powerhouse in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? But like, goes to like, this is really my last question, but like, who's your favorite? Who do you think's the best rapper to come out of the DMV?
Man, I'm biased, bro. Wale, one of my favorite rappers. I don't know if you can see him on his board. He's right there, number 6 for me. So that's my boy. Wale. I mean, yeah, that's my favorite DMV artist. So
that's yeah, I can't argue against Wale.
Yeah, no, bro. I think I'm right there with you though. I was really just thinking about that too. Favorite DMV, Wale.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
It really depends. If we just saying DMV within like the DC metro area, Wale, I think would be. If we expand and say people from Virginia, Maryland, and DC, then you got Push, the Clips.
Oh well, yeah.
Missy.
I totally forgot.
Oh, okay, yeah. When we said
they got some artists
from Maryland.
Yeah, Virginia got some artists. Yeah, Pharrell from Virginia too.
Yeah, Pharrell, Timberland. Yeah, they got it. But I mean, yeah, if it's just the DMV metro area, then yeah, I got Wale.
Yeah, Wale got one of my favorite mixtapes ever. Mixtape about nothing. So stick with me to this day, bro.
Yeah, I used to listen to it religiously.
Yeah.
Him and Cole had a record last year that I really like.
Oh, the Polka Dot joint?
Yeah.
Oh, was that last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Shout out to Wale. And also, we talked about I saw Kendrick live.
Oh, you went to the joint in Capital One?
Yeah. Greatest hip hop show I ever watched.
Man.
And I've seen J.
I get to go.
Yeah. Oh man. I've seen J. Cole, I've seen DMX, I've seen Nas twice, I think I've seen Ja. Out of all of them, as rapping wise, Kendrick, yeah, that was different. Kendrick was disappearing. We had like it was like, yo, this dude, he really thought this tour out. You know what I mean?
But that's what I be talking about, man. That thinking first, that shit crazy, man. Can't go in there without no game plan.
Yeah.
And I seen the videos though, like it seemed like a great show.
Yeah, it was like parts where like he would be like in this like box, like he'd be in this like rectangle box or whatever. They'd give him a COVID test, and right after that he performs all right. And that's you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he goes up, like it like lifts him and then it changes colors and he performs the last song off of, I forgot the name of the song, Mr. Marlin, the Big Steppers. He performs Loyalty, and then as he's going back down, he performs Silent Hill with Kodak. It was
damn. Yeah. might got catch the whole show on YouTube somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I think, but I'll say my favorite part was when he did Humble. Like he was literally walking in steps. Then he was doing the little the piano thing he did on the beginning of the album. In steps, like stepping, and then he stopped, and then he goes dun, and with the real piano he goes dun 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 dun. dun. Now I'm like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
that would have been crazy, man.
I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So K Dot, hats off to you, man. Hats off to you, man. But yeah, thanks Justin for coming on the show. We've rebranded. We call it the Kickback now. We just want to, have people on, have conversation, talk music, hip hop, sports, whatever, and have good conversations. We're at the point in age where like growth. You know what I'm saying? That's the rebrand, growth. Yeah, growth.
For sure, bro. I appreciate y'all for having me on, though, man. I love to kick it with y'all for sure.
Yeah,
bro. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Of course, man.
Yeah, let them know your Twitter and IG handle.
So yeah, Twitter, IG, Uncle Justin, Uncle JUS10. What else can you follow? Follow Young Gifted Sound on IG. We got some stuff coming. And then, yep. Go get that Cancer Man. Deluxe. Just dropped last month, so.
Yeah, and go stream that.
Yeah, for sure.
Please.
Got some more visuals dropping, too. Got about 4 more visuals to drop the rest of this year, so. Check that out.
Yeah. I'll drop a link for YouTube channel on this, too.
Yep.
All right, bet.
Yeah. And our official Kickback IG handles, official Kickback podcast.
Yeah.
That's the new name. Well, we're still gonna figure out the Twitter name. So hold off on.
I'll probably put it on here somewhere. We'll figure it out.
We'll hold off on that. But my personal IG is Kofi Peter, PITA. Chris.
Find me at BigChris_57 on Twitter, and Everybody Loves Chris on IG.
I heard they were rebooting that, actually. You can find me, Avery Cooper, at KOPA on IG.
Yeah, we love you, man. We kick back, sit back, relax. See you till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Kickback. We're available on all podcasting platforms, and we ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And do us a favor and hit that notification bell too. And please rate and review us on any platform available. And as always, we like you, we love you, but we gotta go. Bye.
Perk, give him the sauce real quick.
Told them that we at the kickback. Talk about this at the kickback. Talk about that at the kickback. Talk about rap at the kickback. Talk R&B at the kickback. You might find me at the kickback. Talk about sports at the kickback. Long stories are short at the kickback. Got guests of all sorts at the kickback. We at the kickback. We at the kickback. We at the kickback.